Hey there. If jaw-dropping stories are your thing, you're in the perfect place. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and become part of our little storytelling family. Let's begin. I had a man who would have moved mountains for me, someone who saw me at my lowest and loved me anyway. And I threw him away, convinced I could do better. It's not like I woke up one day determined to destroy the best thing in my life. Nobody ever does. You never plan to break the heart of the one person who never gave you a reason to doubt them. But that's exactly what I did, piece by careless piece, until there was nothing left. His name was Micah. We met during a thunderstorm. Literally, my umbrella flipped inside out as I stood outside the subway, soaked to the skin and cursing under my breath. Then he appeared wordless, holding his umbrella over both of us like some silent, gentle rescue. I looked up, drenched and miserable, and he just smiled like I was the most entertaining thing he'd seen all week. That was Micah, soft-spoken, a little awkward, but warm in a way that settled deep into your bones. He wasn't flashy, no designer watches, no sleek cars. He worked in IT, loved indie films, made the worst puns you've ever heard, and baked when he was anxious. The first time he brought me cookies, he looked so apologetic about how uneven they were. I laughed and ate 6 of them in one sitting. They tasted like comfort. They tasted like home. Our relationship was quiet, peaceful. No shouting matches. No slamming doors. Just Sunday morning pancakes, shared grocery lists, long hugs in the kitchen, and conversations that drifted well past midnight. And for a while, that was enough. Or so I thought. But then the doubts began to whisper. My friends would joke that Michael was too predictable. You're too spicy for a guy like that. One said over brunch. Another chimed in, Girl, you could do so much better. Someone who actually knows how to make a night unforgettable. I laughed with them, pretending it didn't sting, even though something in me flinched every time they said it. And then came Caleb. He worked in marketing. Looked like he'd stepped straight out of a glossy ad. He dressed sharp, moved smoother, and had the kind of charisma that could make anyone feel like the center of the universe. We met at a friend's birthday party. I barely remembered his name the next day, but he remembered mine. Sent me a message. Asterisk, still thinking about your laugh. Asterisk, I should have ignored it. I didn't. It started as harmless banter. Just texts, then drinks after work. Then a kiss outside a bar while I lied to Micah, telling him I had a late meeting. The guilt didn't crash down right away. It trickled in slowly, like ink spreading through water. I'd come home and see Micah folding my laundry, making my coffee exactly how I liked it, and something inside me would squeeze. But instead of confessing, I grew cold. I picked fights over nothing, mocked the routines I once found comforting. I made him feel like the boring one, even though I was the one drowning in secrets. Then came the final betrayal. I broke up with him, told him I needed space, that I wasn't happy. He didn't beg, didn't plead. He just looked at me with those heartbreakingly kind eyes and said, Asterisk, if that's what you need, I won't stop you. Asterisk. And that was it. He packed a bag and left. I moved in with Caleb within a month. For a while, it felt like freedom, like I'd made the right choice. Caleb was all fireworks and flair, fancy dinners, glamorous parties, expensive gifts. But under all the sparkle, there was nothing solid. He talked over me, dismissed my ideas, flirted with waitresses while holding my hand. He never asked how my day was, unless it had something to do with him. And slowly, painfully, I began to miss the silence of mornings with Micah, the sticky notes on my mirror with ridiculous puns, the quiet way he listened without needing to fix anything, the way he made me feel known. I reached out, just a simple message, asterisk, hey, how have you been? Asterisk, no reply. A few weeks later, I found out he blocked me. I spiraled. I had let go of the one person who loved me with no conditions, and now he wanted nothing to do with me. I told myself I'd move on. I tried, but every man after Micah felt like a hollow imitation. None of them knew my favorite tea. None remembered I hated cilantro. None looked at me like I was something to be treasured rather than a challenge to be conquered. Almost a year after the breakup, I saw him again. It was at the farmer's market. He was holding hands with a woman who had curly hair and freckles. She was laughing at something he said, and he looked happy, genuinely, glowingly happy. He didn't see me. I stood frozen with a basket of peaches in my hand, like the air had been knocked from my lungs. And in that moment, I realized I hadn't just lost Micah. I had lost a version of myself that was loved by him, the girl he believed in, the girl he made better. Months passed, and that image of him, smiling, whole-loved, haunted me, not because he had moved on, but because I finally understood what I had destroyed. Micah wasn't perfect, but he was loyal, gentle, steady, the kind of love that doesn't flare bright and die out, but grows quietly and stays. And I gave it all up for something that shimmered and vanished. I tried one last time. I wrote him a letter, not to beg, just to say I was sorry. I told him the truth about Caleb, about the guilt, about how I carried him with me in every quiet moment. I never got a reply. I didn't expect one. But I hope he read it. And I hope he knows that I regret it every single day. Some people will hear this and say I got what I deserved. Maybe they're right. But if telling this story keeps even one person from making the same mistake, if it reminds someone not to trade quiet love for hollow sparkles, then maybe it matters. Because sometimes the best love you'll ever have won't look like a firework. It'll look like uneven cookies and folded laundry, and a man who brings you tea without being asked. And if you're lucky enough to have that kind of love, don't let it go chasing something shiny. I did, and I lost a good man, because I thought I could do better.